Hello, welcome back to another video. Yep, today we are playing the final Xuan game that I have not documented yet. The second part of the Xuan 3 Gaiden, or side story as it's called, the Scar in the Sky, and yes, that's the name of this title. But anyway, enough about that, let's go into the actual gameplay. We start with talking about what the previous game had, which, if you don't know, you can also see in the other videos. We then get introduced to our grandpa, who was also in that game, and now we are forced to go into a town. Talk to people over here, which are talking about some country being destroyed, or maybe it's a kingdom that's being destroyed. And then you're forced to go into an inn. You then watch a cutscene. You then meet up with one of your previous party members. You then start arguing with Grandpa about something about treasure. Or that he wants to do something and you are being narcissistic. And then we now have our 3 party members. And yes, those are the party members that's going to be throughout the entirety of this game. Anyway, now we go down here to then talk to this guy about opening up a waterway to go find treasure. After a lot of talking, you then go back to the inn, tell your grandpa that you want to go find treasure, and and of course he's going to say no. So anyway, now we have to go outside of the village. And after walking over a couple of bridges and there's no random encounters in the overworld, we then go to this little hut where we have to talk to this woman. Also, nice background, it's just a clear sky. And looks like things are just hanging over it. Anyway, now comes our first real grinding cave. Nice cave, actually. We've got chests. Anyway, saving here. There's a whole bunch of enemies taken from the previous games and a couple of other enemies. Yep, you may recognize at least one enemy from this. But we all start at level 2, like the Romance of the Three Kingdom games. Anyway, this battle's gonna be pseudo-easy. And she died. And I cannot. Okay, let's go dig around the chest, see if there's a weird potion thing. There's not. Oh yeah, I forgot there's another chest. So yeah, all the enemies over here are taken from other Xuan games, or games. No, there are Xuan games. I don't think any of them were later used in the YS games, or Yeast games. Okay, let me grind here. Now we're gonna have to buy a potion from one of the shops. Okay, we have the ability to restore her. No, not yet. Able to go buy a revive potion. Yeah, so then eventually our first story area is actually in this village. Now that's weapons. This area. This looks like an inn. This is probably a potion shop. No, so that one's the armor shop, here's the weapon shop. The other one was a potion shop. Let's see, HP, HP, MP, MP, HP, MP, not sure. Think we'll need one of this one. And now we can officially grind her. So a lot of these enemies are, again, from the other previous games. And I don't think there's any of the enemies stolen from any other Final Fantasy games, but all of them are from the Xuan games, including this weird the skeleton one, however, is very new. And also the, either it's a girl or... but the weird sword-wielding one is also new. Since we're not really grinding up anymore, let's now go on with the story, because now we have to go into a garden shop. Get some flowers. And then we see the queen, I believe, going by. So now we follow her into the inn. We then talk to her for a little bit, which is another long cutscene. And after that long cutscene, we then get to go over to the camp, where we have to fail a boss. Anyway, now we can leave the area. But before we go over to the camp, there's also some treasure over here in this little cave area that goes everywhere. There's even a little island. chests. Of course, we got a bunch of chests laying around this area. So collect them all. I wonder why there's a bridge and then there's just another path. Yep, so that's all the chests in this area. And again, as usual, there's nothing on this tiny island. So anyway, after you go around... Or wait, did I miss something over here? There was nothing I missed. You know, this cave is optional, so after you go into the optional cave, you then have to actually go over to the camp. Or after you cross a threshold, the little wire thing, you then see the camp's weird gong thing. I'm just gonna call it a gong thing because it's essentially a large steel ball on a stick. Not sure what weapon it is, so if you guys know what weapon that is, leave a comment down below, because I certainly do not know what weapon that is. Anyway, now we get thrown into the camp. And then we have to fight this guy, who's again holding the thing I was mentioning. Anyway, because we're supposed to fail at this, we do very little damage to him, and he does much damage to us. So after we fail, apparently he too also just fails as well. And then, we then go into yet another boss fight where we're actually supposed to succeed. He then runs down his secret staircase. That's conveniently in the corner. Now in the underground cavern, the, I guess, general is running away. Afterwards, basically looks like some weird blue thing comes out, or at least as it gets close to him. Anyway, since there's no boss, we can simply just watch another cutscene. We then remove the thing from him. And then we go along the cavern. Anyway, there's an area with a bunch of spikes that is annoying, but... we get to a treasure chest. Here's the turtle cauldrons again. I think another cave section before we get to the most weirdest part. Anyway, now we have this intersection, so Go over here a bunch of times. And yes, we still have random encounters. Go up here a bunch of times. Go down. Where are we supposed to go left? Yep, and then it will lead you straight back into the overworld. Afterwards, then you have to go get Grandpa back at the inn. And then we go through the same cave. Now this time we're going to use this cave over here, because it's easier without... And plus the story continues once we go over to the city area. There's our old sand area. So after that we then can go over to this area. Or the guard will then let us pass through. And we can't go over to this cave yet. And there's yet another area. Can't go through that area yet. And can't cross over the bridge. Also not sure where this thing is. So yeah, after we cross the gate, now we have to go over to this little village. Filled to the brim with guards. Anyway, we're allowed to pass, because I guess we met up with the general, and then we got this mini cityscape. Got this area with tiny bamboos. And we got even more Sword of Mana stuff. Anyway, I'm not really sure what to do in this area, so I'll show you a couple other little areas that are also in this game. So now going all the way back over to the beginning area, you can actually cross into the underworld. And yes, you're allowed to do that early in the game. Not to that cave, but if we cross over here, this is the underworld, which is completely in blue. We can go up here and we find a weird tree, alongside with trees from the other games and pines from Final Fantasy 2 or 3. And we got this little area. There's also the mountain from the Heroes of Jin Yong series that Jin Yong created. We can't enter this place yet. Anyway, here's the city. With these things. Empty house. medicine potion shop. Another shop. Anyway, if you go up here, you'll find more houses. You can't enter any of them. Going further, you'll find yourself inside of this multi-house. And of course, we got two other areas that we can't enter to until later in the game. There's also a bridge missing, which will probably lead us to another area in the game. So yeah, that's the underworld. I think I've already done most of the overworld locations. Except for this little area over here. And also, if you go back over to the straw hut house, you'll find this guy's over here. You can also talk to her for a little bit of extraness, but that's really all this game has to offer. So what does this game really have to offer? Well, it's a very good backport of another Chinese game, but yeah, that's all of the Jincota games, unless a couple of the lost ones are found. But anyway, guys, that was about it. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!